Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the enigmatic and tragic life of Ralph Dean Templeton, a man whose life and untimely death are as complex as they are intriguing. From his turbulent family background to his ambitious presidential bid and the mystery surrounding his murder, Dean Templeton's story is one of profound highs and devastating lows. So, let's unravel the life and legacy of Dean Templeton. Ralph Dean Templeton was born in Flint, Michigan on January 18, 1931, to his parents Ralph and Myrtle Templeton. He was the second of 5 children in the Templeton family. His siblings included Doris June, Douglas Edward, Delbert Gordon, and Dolores M. The family lived at 1106 East Lorado Street, which is now a vacant lot. By the late 1930s, the Templeton household was far from stable. Ralph and Myrtle Templeton's marriage was marked by volatility, culminating in a dramatic incident on November 23, 1937. According to the Flint Journal, both parents ended up in police custody. Myrtle Templeton, from 110 Austin Avenue, deserted her 5 young children at the police station. This shocking act occurred right after her husband, Ralph Templeton, was sentenced for assaulting her. Ralph, 31 years old and from 1114 Stockton Street, was facing a $5 fine and $5 in costs for his actions. Unable to pay, he found himself locked up. Myrtle, meanwhile, was arrested on an abandonment charge. Detective Claire Sobey, who was handling the case, found Ralph's children clinging to him in the patrol office. Sobey asked Ralph what was happening, and Ralph revealed that Myrtle had abandoned them. Detective Sobey then confronted Myrtle in the courthouse hallway. She reportedly told him she wouldn't care for the children anymore, stating they were also Ralph's responsibility. Myrtle was taken to the police matron's office, and a warrant for her arrest was authorized. She faced a bond hearing on December 2nd, but by noon, neither she nor Ralph had resolved their legal and financial troubles. Despite Ralph having only $5 and Myrtle holding a slip for a garnished paycheck, she refused to give him the slip, even though it was useless to her. While Sobey and a matron prepared to transport the children to a detention home, Ralph arranged for them to be taken in by their paternal uncle, Dan Templeton. The children were placed in Dan Templeton's care, but their future remained uncertain. Just a week later, on November 29, 1937, Ralph filed for divorce, citing extreme cruelty, desertion, and abandonment by Myrtle. The divorce was finalized on October 13, 1938, with Ralph awarded custody of the children. Dean's early life was marked by hardship and neglect, and he faced significant emotional and mental challenges. Although Dean claimed he was sent to a psychiatric facility, there are no official records to confirm this. As a young man, Dean also claimed to have served in the Army's Patton's Tank Corps during the Korean War with postings in Alaska. However, no military records have been found for him, possibly due to the 1973 fire at the National Personnel Records Center that destroyed many documents. In 1950, Dean married Lorraine Stella Jacobs, but the marriage ended in divorce by 1953. Dean quickly moved on, getting engaged to Charlene Natalda Stoner. They married in 1953 and had a son, Mark Forrest Templeton, born on November 1, 1954. By 1955, Dean and Charlene were living in Denver. Their marriage faced difficulties, leading to their divorce by 1963. Charlene's struggles with drugs and their tumultuous relationship likely contributed to their split. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Dean harbored grand ambitions of becoming the President of the United States. He launched a write-in campaign for the 1972 election, and when that didn't pan out, he set his sights on 1976. Dean's campaign was unconventional. He traveled across the country, hitchhiking and distributing his manifesto, which included plans for a man-made bridge from Alaska to Russia and a new monetary system. Despite the grandiose proposals, Dean's campaign struggled to gain traction. In January 1975, while living in Ellensburg, Washington, Dean found temporary work but was fired after a few days. His final days were marked by cold, isolation, and the ongoing struggle of his campaign. On January 21, 1975, Dean was last seen leaving the Sunset Cafe. His body was discovered on March 4, 1975, alongside Thorpe Prairie Road, with 2 gunshot wounds to the head. The investigation into Dean's death revealed few answers. Speculation ranged from a personal vendetta to potential involvement by the CIA due to his political ambitions. His briefcase, containing important campaign documents, was never found. It is speculation, but the most likely turn of events had to do with his campaign partners Patrick and Marion Feeney. Based on Dean's biography, they were extensively involved with his life and campaign. Patrick Feeney terminated their committee just days after Dean's body was found and identified, but did not give a reason for the termination. Dean's son, Mark Templeton, stated that he went to the diner Dean was last seen at and talked with the owner, who stated he was seen leaving in a tan two-door car with a woman driving. Nothing was ever found pertaining to whom might have committed the heinous act against Dean Templeton. Sadly, Dean's son, Mark Templeton, later faced his own tragic downfall. In 1989, Mark was implicated in the murder of his mother, Charlene, and her second husband. Mark was sentenced to life in prison for his crimes. Dean Templeton's life and death remain shrouded in mystery, with many questions left unanswered. From his troubled childhood to his ill-fated presidential bid and his tragic murder, his story is a haunting reminder of the fragility of ambition and the impact of personal turmoil. Dean's story is detailed in the rare book From Asininity to Assassination, a fascinating yet elusive account of his life. If you're interested in diving deeper, keep an eye out for this elusive title. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the life of Ralph Dean Templeton. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into intriguing stories from history. See you next time.